Here it is at last, the Helios Tarot forecast for the month, or Tarot Horoscope drawn specifically for your astrological zodiac sign. I'm B.R. Newman, in case you didn't know that already. Check out my website, iamhelios.com, through the link below, and consider everything that I have to offer there. Consider signing up to receive any number of the personal readings that I offer, or consider signing up to take a course. The choice is yours. There's a lot to explore there. Also consider checking out Annie Botticelli's Storyteller forecasts to see the astrological side of everything you're going to see here. It's fascinating, I promise. So, okay, I guess we'll just jump right into it. So here it is, Gemini, your 5-card Helios spread for the month of October. This is a condensed Golden Dawn spread, which uses 15 cards. In this case, we have 5 to the same result. We have a central theme, 2-dimensional timeline options to choose from, a past section, and a fate section. In your central theme, or that which most adequately embodies the whole story arc of this entire tarot spread, is the Two of Discs. All 2s in tarot correspond to Spherith number 2 on the Tree of Life, which is wisdom, or the first power of conscious intellect. This has to do with the right hemisphere of the brain, so this is really a matter of pondering potentiality before choosing to actualize and compartmentalize and put everything in its right place. So the right hemisphere of the brain is manifest through earth, through materials, through resources, matter, mass, the substances of the earth. So the experience of this is initiated change, some externalized adjustment or modification that allows the contemplation of new potential. So something is forced out of the way to make room for something new. In which case, what does sometimes happen is the experience of indecisiveness, juggling opportunities, not really sure where to go or what to do, in which case insight would be called upon, and so here it is. We have these 2-dimensional timelines quite clearly mapped out. On the one hand, you have the Ace of Swords, which is the primordial essence of the element of air. So this is Keter, or Spherith 1, on the Tree of Life as manifest through swords. So the primordial essence of swords is most thoroughly embodied by the relationship, or the marriage of decision and action, or thought and action. So it's really action and thought for the sake of itself. This is not decision based upon intense analysis and contemplation of every possibility before making an educated decision. This is immediate action and thought and decision, making a decision because it has to happen now, as the obvious response to the Two of Discs, juggling of possibilities and the indecisiveness that often ensues. So considering the alternative dimensional timeline being the Nine of Swords, this is clearly the obvious choice, the Ace of Swords. You just have to make a decision. And you just have to decide now. It's time to break the inertia. The Two of Discs is far too stagnant, far too unproductive. It's time to make a decision and get the ball rolling. So I understand that you may feel, due to the Ten of Wands in your past section, that you're exhausted and you're burnt out. And you've been through perhaps what you consider this too much, for too long. And now it's time for some kind of change. Well, yes, the Ace of Swords is the means through which you can initiate that change. You decide that you need something different and then act on it. You don't have to think too much about it. You don't have to worry about it too much. The Ace of Swords does kind of promise some level of success so long as you manage the steps that you must take beyond that quite carefully. Because the Ace of Swords, like all swords, does come with a warning. By activating the suit of the swords, you are setting up a chain of causes and effects that are double-edged swords, right? So you want to just manage all of that quite cautiously, but considering the other dimensional timeline, you don't really have a better choice. The Nine of Swords is really the obvious result of the indecision. If you don't make a choice and just act on it with confidence, then a choice gets made for you. And the Nine of Swords is summed up by the word cruelty. So the Nine of Swords, like all nines in tarot, is associated with Yasad on the Tree of Life, Spherith 9. And so this, as manifest through air, through swords, this is a kind of like mechanical lack of compassion. So some system makes the decision for you, some kind of artificial intelligence, and this can be society itself, the government, this could be a corporation, something of that nature, steps in and makes it impossible for you to make the decisions that you would like to make. So the time is now. The Ace of Swords is an opportunity you can take now, but it will quickly be overshadowed by the Nine of Swords if you fail to make that choice. So the action to take right now should carry the essence of Zen. So in the Zen practice, you clear your mind, witnessing the action that is to be taken as if it has already happened, getting so clear that the act of doing it is, you could say, as simple as imagining it. So the action carries with it a kind of essence of cosmic intelligence, universal wisdom. Meditate on what must be done, and then take action immediately. So this is not beckoning you to take rash action. This is not saying that it should be completely thoughtless. It should be cautious, and it should be done out of clarity, not out of fear or according to the pressures put upon you by another. Even me. So the decision has to be self-governed. So I would advise the best thing you can do is spend a few moments meditating and bring some stillness into that juggling two of discs paradigm. Recognize a spectrum of illusion represented by two extreme polarities, and then take the middle way. Thrust yourself forth into the heart of your future like a single decisive sword. And the most important part, maintain that confidence. Like I said, carefully manage the steps that you take beyond that, because what you do have beyond that is the moon, illusions. You are not going to know, based on sensory data, based on the evidence, what's going on. So that kind of indecisiveness would naturally carry over into that realm. But you have to get clear in your own mind, regardless of the circumstances, and then stay the course. Because the moon represents a time in which deception and illusions are abound, and you don't really know which way is up or down. So you have to turn within for the answers. So the time to turn within is now. Make a decision, stick to it, stay the course. And don't make any modifications to your charted course based on the rise of any apparent red flags or the pressures of other people, because they are likely to be quite deceptive in nature and not, of course, according to their own intent even. The moon represents a time in which the reflection that is being cast out from within you is sort of representing incoherence, the incoherence of a former way of being. But the sword is like your vessel that will carry you through those illusions. And that sword, of course, is what you grasp in gaining the Zen-like clarity you require to make the decision and then stay the course. So there's a lot of evidence of confusion, a lot of conflicting forces at work here. So I think this is a matter of transcending the psychological constructs that can confine someone and confuse and dazzle someone. The wisdom of the heart knows the way out, and you get in touch with that through meditation, through compassion, through acts of kindness, and simply doing what you love, including being with those you love. Just be especially cautious regarding the intent of other people, because the light that you see may not entirely be of their own origin. Like the light of the moon. It's not coming from the moon. It's coming from a source you likely can't see. So just be, but without fear. And that about wraps this up for the month. So thank you for listening to this and for watching. Please do consider contacting me for a personal reading. We can take this so far and go so much deeper than we have here. It's pretty remarkable, really. You can gain so much, as many people have already. IamHelios.com is the website. I'm B.R. Newman. Thanks again.